You know, Mitt Romney has some trouble with stretching the truth. Well, there's two new great examples of it. You remember the old example when he said that he remembered his father marching with Martin Luther King Jr.? The only problem was that his father never marched with him. But when they did a little bit of research into it, he said, well, yeah, you know, I know he never marched with him, but they weren't in the same day or the same city, but they were marching about the same issue at the same time. Oh, that's so weak. That's so sad. Okay, so now recently he talked about this great celebration called the Golden Jubilee that happened in Michigan back when he was a kid, kind of. Let's watch.
This was the place everybody wanted to come to Detroit and get a job here. Auto industry doing spectacularly well. I think my dad had a job like being the grand master or whatever of the 50th celebration of the automobile in Detroit. They painted the Woodward Avenue with gold paint. My memory's a little foggy here, so but yeah, I was probably 4 or something like that. But and had the cars go down Woodward Avenue. I know they still have the parade of cars every year.
Yeah, here's the only problem with that. You weren't around 4, and you don't remember it for good reason. It happened 9 months before you were born. Now, there's no need to lie about that. I mean, and he says my memory on it was foggy. That's because it didn't exist. And I know you want to connect to Michigan. Do you know that only 26% of the people in Michigan know that Romney was originally born in Michigan? I guess he's desperately trying to remind people, hey, I'm the hometown kid. Yeah, vote for me. Now, I said your entire industry here should go bankrupt. But who cares? I'm from Michigan. And he's so desperate to do that, he does goofy things like this, where he says, oh, yeah, I remember the golden years before I was born, when I wasn't even in my mom's belly yet. Well, 9 months before you were born. Well, maybe he remembered it as his parents were conceiving.
Hey, it was a parade. They ducked off to the side.
Hey, maybe that's what happened in the Golden Jubilee. Maybe that's why he has such fond memories of it. So that's point number 1. Point number 2, he also wants to say, you know, not only does he want to connect with Michigan and Detroit, et cetera, but he wants to show that he's a regular guy. And he's been having trouble doing that because he says absurd things like how you know, we all have Michigan cars here, cars made in Detroit, like my wife has a couple of Cadillacs. You're like, oh, Jesus, right? So he talks about how he lived in this house, and he says it's been bulldozed now because it turned, I guess, into an eyesore or a place that drugs were being used, so they had to tear it down. It was a lovely home. How sad it is to see the city of Detroit suffering as it is now. That's a quote from Romney about his childhood home, the one where he was born into and lived in his early years. So a reporter went out to see where it is and what kind of disrepair it's fallen into. It's in a gated community. It looks like that. It's gorgeous. Oops. Now, to be fair to Romney, his specific house did fall into disrepair. It was foreclosed on. Eventually, they did bulldoze it and put up another nice house there. But the image that he leaves you with is like it's part of the decrepit Detroit, poor Detroit, where Romney grew up. No, it was in a gorgeous neighborhood. That house just happened to fall apart. And eventually the other rich neighbors were so disgruntled, they're like, it's an eyesore, we've got to get rid of it. And finally they bulldozed the thing and built up another nice house to go along in that gated community. See, that's the thing with Romney. He's constantly trying to mislead you. And why does he do that? Because he's not one of you guys. He's super, super rich and looks out for the super rich. When asked, you know, about NASCAR guys and do you connect, he said, well, I know a bunch of NASCAR team owners. Look, at least be honest about it, because no one's buying that you're a common guy and that you struggled and came up through this tough life. Your dad was a multimillionaire. Remember when he told that story about how he went to France and once lived in a place with no toilets? And then we found out it was a mansion he was living in France. Come on now, come on, man. You're so fake. And that's your number 1 problem. Your number 1 problem isn't that you're rich, it's that you're such a liar, you're such a phony, you're so disingenuous. That's why no one believes you. Look, FDR was rich, but he actually cared about the common man, and he fought for him. Being rich isn't the problem. It's the fact that your tax plan would actually greatly benefit the top 1%, would greatly benefit yourself. In fact, you'd save $4 million in taxes alone in your old plan, let alone your new plan, which then takes off another 20%. That's why he feels he has to lie to you, Because if he told you the truth would be that Mitt Romney isn't just in the 1%, his job is to look out for the 1%, and that's why he's running for president.